There's a moment that happens to you a few times a week and you barely notice it. You see something you want, a trip, a course, a real chance to bet on yourself. And before you even finish the thought, three little words show up and shut the door. I can't afford it. It feels responsible, grown up even, like you're just being smart with money. But say it enough and it stops being a fact. It quietly becomes a fence. Here's the strange part. You're smart. You work hard. You're a genuinely good person. And somehow money is always a little tight. The raise came and vanished. The month is always longer than the paycheck. So a quiet voice starts whispering something that sounds almost true. Maybe I'm just not a money person. That voice is the whole problem. And tonight, we're going to fire it. Because the reason money stays away has almost nothing to do with your salary. You think being broke is a math problem. Not enough coming in, too much going out. Fix the numbers, fix the life. It isn't. It's a belief problem wearing a math costume. Long before you could count, you were handed a story about money. From a parent who fought about it at the kitchen table. A teacher, a TV. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. We can't afford that, put it back. You soaked all of it up before you ever had a say in the matter. And you've been running that inherited software ever since. It's quietly making your money decisions for you, right now, today. Jen Sincero built a whole life around one blunt idea. Money is neutral. It's just currency, energy, moving around. It isn't good and it isn't evil. It's a tool like a hammer. The story you wrapped around it, that's what's keeping you broke or making you rich. And a story can be rewritten. That's the good news. So let's catch the 5 money lies you're still believing. Starting with the ugliest one. Lie number 1. Wanting money makes you a bad person. You'd never say it out loud, but some part of you believes it. That money is a little dirty. That wanting more is greedy. Shallow, not very spiritual. So watch what you quietly do with a belief like that running in the background. You undercharge because asking for real money feels rude. You don't push for the raise because it feels grabby. A little extra shows up and you feel oddly guilty, so you spend it fast. You are quietly sabotaging yourself and calling it being humble. Here's what that old story never told you. Money doesn't turn you into anyone. It just makes you more of who you already are. A selfish person with money is selfishness with a bigger megaphone. A kind person with money is kindness that can finally do something. And you cannot pour from an empty cup. Being broke and drained doesn't make you noble. It just makes you tired. Wanting money isn't shallow. It's wanting choices, freedom, the room to be generous. So here's your first move, and it's smaller than you think. Give yourself permission to want it. Out loud. Write one line. It is okay for me to want money, and okay for me to have a lot of it. Then read it back until it stops making you flinch. But permission alone won't move a single dollar until you get uncomfortably specific. Line number 2. Someday, when things finally settle down, ask most people what they actually want, and you get the same soft fog. I just want to be comfortable. I want a bit more. I want to stop worrying. It sounds humble. It's actually why you're stuck. More than what? A little more than broke is still basically broke. Your brain runs on targets. Hand it a fog, and it hands you a fog right back. This is the line that separates two kinds of people. Broke people wish. Wealthy people decide. A wish sounds like this. I'd love to have more money, someday. A decision has a number, a date, and a reason that gives you chills. So don't say, I want to be comfortable. Try this instead. $120,000 by next December. Because I want to walk away from the job that's crushing me and take my mom to Italy while I still can. Feel the difference? The number gives your brain a target to aim at. The why gives it fuel for the nights you want to quit. So write your one sentence. The exact amount, the real date, and the reason that actually moves you. But a decision sitting on paper is still just paper. There's one more move, and it's the one that separates the dreamers from the people who actually get paid. Line number 3. I'll go for it once I feel ready. So you wait. You'll launch it when it's perfect. Ask when the time is right. Invest when you finally feel sure. Let me save you a decade. Ready never arrives. The moment never gets cleaner. You just get older, waiting for a green light that isn't coming. Because money doesn't reward the most talented or the most certain. It rewards the ones who move decisively, usually while still a little scared. The brave ones aren't fearless. They just act before the fear clears. And right here is where those same three words come back to finish you off. I can't afford it. I can't afford it is a door slamming shut. The conversation is over and your brain switches off. So swap it for a question. How can I afford it? Those are two completely different machines. I can't is a wall. How can I is your brain rolling up its sleeves? Suddenly there are options. A side gig, something to sell, a payment plan, a raise to go ask for. Sincero lived this one. Flat broke. She hired a coach for $85,000 she absolutely did not have. Terrifying. But that impossible number forced her to figure out how, instead of saying no. She leveled up her whole business to cover it. And she did. So this week, catch yourself the second you say, I can't afford it. Then ask the better question and do the one thing that scares you. Send the invoice. Raise your price. Ask for the raise. Make the offer. Do it while your hands are still shaking. That shake is just the fee for the next level. Line number 4. I'll relax and feel grateful once the money is finally here. So until then, you do the exact opposite. You keep score of everything that's wrong. I'm so broke. Money is so tight. I just can't catch a break. It feels honest, like you're just telling it how it is. But your brain is a search engine, and your complaints are the search terms. Tell it money is scarce, and it goes hunting for proof. Every bill, every no, everything you can't have. And slowly, you start to move like someone with nothing. Small, guarded, grabbing at scraps instead of reaching for more. Scarcity isn't just a feeling. It quietly shrinks what you're willing to do. So flip the search terms. Notice the money that's already working for you. The roof, the lights, the coffee in your hand. This is an acute little gratitude exercise. It retrains what your brain goes looking for. And suddenly you start spotting the opening, the offer worth making, the door that was there all along. Then do the thing that feels backwards when money's tight. Give a little anyway. Tip well. Help someone out. Send the small amount you can actually spare. It tells your own nervous system a quiet truth. There is enough, and more is on the way. So starting today, 2 simple rules. Stop announcing that you're broke. And every morning, name one way money is already good to you. You start acting like a person with enough long before the bank agrees. And that changes what you do next. Line number 5. And it's the one you're secretly proudest of. I just have to work harder. So you do. You take the extra shift. You answer email at midnight. You skip the weekend. You wear the exhaustion like a badge. Being busy must mean it's working. But look at the plain math of it. There are only so many hours in a day. Trading more of them for money is a ladder with a very low ceiling. You can grind yourself into the ground and still end up stuck in the same spot. Because somewhere deep down, you believe money is a reward for suffering. That you have to earn it the hard way, or you don't really deserve it. So you keep grinding, and the grind quietly becomes the whole point. Here's the shift that changes the whole game. Money doesn't pay you for your hours. It pays you for the value you create, the problem you actually solve. A plumber fixes the leak in 10 minutes. You're not paying for the 10 minutes. You're paying because the flooding finally stopped. So the question was never how many more hours can I possibly work? It's how can I become more valuable in the hours I already have? That's why Sincero kept telling people to raise their prices and to invest in themselves. That expensive coach wasn't really a cost. It was her becoming worth more. So pick one thing this month. Raise a price to match the real value you give. And put a little money into one skill that makes you worth even more. You don't need more hours. You need to become harder to replace. Now step back and look at what actually just happened here. Not one word of this was about interest rates or budgets or the economy. It was about the story running quietly underneath all of it. Wanting money doesn't make you bad. Vague wishing keeps you broke. Ready never comes, so you move while scared. And scarcity is just a habit you can drop. And you never had to suffer more to earn more. And underneath every one of those sits the real number that runs your finances. It was never your salary. It's your self-worth. You will quietly earn about what you believe you're worth, and not much more. So the work was never really about money at all. It's about becoming the kind of person who expects it, asks for it, and knows how to hold on to it. You were handed a story about money before you ever got a vote. It wasn't true. It was just early and loud, and you believed it. But you're the one holding the pen now. Give yourself permission to want it. Decide on the real number and the why. Move before you feel ready. And treat what you already have like it's enough. None of that asks you to be smarter or luckier or born into more. It just asks you to stop retelling a story that was never really yours. You were never bad with money. You were just loyal to a lie. Rewrite it, and you'll be amazed at how good you actually are at this.